Welcome to the Vine Resources Podcast Show.
Welcome to another edition of the Vine Resources Podcast Show. Today I'm with Nick Walters. He's the founder and CEO of Hopster. We're here over in his fabulous offices, very cozy and warm in Spitalfields in London. Nick, thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much for coming over on a cold day.
And well, look, it's great to come in the office and see the environment, and it's a lovely, lovely place to work from. But if anyone didn't know who Hopster were, can you share a little bit about who the company is and a little bit more for our listeners, please?
Yeah, sure. So we are basically the app that helps kids learn through the stories they love. That's how we describe our mission. Mm-hmm. So what that means in practice is we bring together video, games, books, music and other interactive content, all organized around a learning curriculum, and then we deliver that in a single app for tablet, mobile phone and connected TV. So we are available now across about 100 countries in total. Real focus on the UK, USA, Australia, New Zealand and France, about 2 million downloads so far. And we run a subscription model, so you can subscribe to us in the App Store, or we partner with telcos and pay TV operators to be part of their offering places.
Fantastic. And I know you even said you had some customers in Yemen or in other parts of the Middle East and pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, we do. I mean, it's one of the nice things about the App Store is you get to be very global very easily. So we have big customer bases in the UK and US, but yeah, we pick up subscribers from all over the world.
Fantastic. Well, look, why don't you? We're going to jump straight into the questions if that's okay. And as the founder of the company and the CEO, tell us what a typical day in the business looks like for you.
So, I mean, it's probably a cliche to say that days can vary. I would say broadly, I try and spend about a third of my time kind of with the team here. So as Hopster's grown over the last couple of years, we've really built out the senior management team here. So we now have pretty strong functional leads in across all our key teams. So a decent amount of time with them, talking about what they're up to, making sure we're joined up between different departments, making sure everyone's focused on the key metrics, working through the things that we think are going to be important to kind of move the business forward over the next months and years. We try and spend probably about a third of my time externally as well. That's typically with commercial partners, but also with content owners. So from the content owner side, we work closely with people like Entertainment One, the guys around Peppa Pig and Ben and Holly. We work closely with people like Sesame Street. So some of those larger partnerships, I spend quite a lot of time with those guys. We also increasingly work with telcos and pay TV operators across the world. So we've announced deals this year with people like TalkTalk in the UK or Comcast in the US. So spending time with those guys, trying to understand what job they're hiring us to do as Hopster and whether we're doing that job is important. And then also we're in a venture-backed company, so we have a fairly diverse investor group. Some venture capital, a venture capital firm. We also have Sony on the cap table. So kind of investor relations and sort of working with our financiers is also important.
I'm just curious to know, and for those who can't see as the listeners, I've been given a lovely cup of coffee here. Can you tell us a little bit about how your character came about for Hopster?
Yeah. So for those on the podcast who can't see it, we are kind of represented by a small, fluffy kind of furball who is the happy face of Hopster. It's interesting actually because we went through a few iterations on our design, and when we first got started, we did one set of characters that were like very conventionally preschool. They were kind of sort of small, fluffy, but recognizably human animals or real world animals. So we had like a bear and a sort of tiger. And it looked, and we built a prototype with them in it, and we sort of looked at it, and we just thought it's a bit meh, it's a bit wishy-washy. So we threw out that whole look and feel, went back to square one, brought in a different designer who came up with this kind of really distinctive tree-based world with these kind of crazy set of characters in them, and we had like a talking stick and a paper bag that could speak. And the one that really leapt out was this fluffy little guy. So he's really kind of become very organically become a very kind of natural brand carrier for us.
Does he have a name?
Yeah, he's called Fluster.
Okay.
Because he's fluffy. But he's also kind of immortalized because we liked him so much, he was so important. I actually have him tattooed on my arm. So I got that done. everyone was very excited by it, and then our then creative director came in like 10 days later and was like, yeah, I'm thinking of making some changes to that character, and we're like, absolutely no way, like, I'm not having the out-of-date tattoo on my arm.
We're going to talk about employee onboarding later, and I'm curious to know if everyone has to have a tattoo as part of the company culture. But I'll come back to that. Look, tell me about someone who's had an impact on you as a leader, and perhaps even been a mentor to you, and how they've helped you over your career so far.
So my co-founder at Hopster is actually my wife, Mickey. So we were colleagues before we were a couple. So my old job, I used to work at Viacom. I was on the business side there, so I was initially head of Strat and Biz Dev for emerging markets, and then went on to run the Russia business. And Mickey was the head of the channels group. So first of all, I learned everything I really know about content and the creative side of the media business. I learned from Mickey because she's really good at her job. And then when we came over to Hopster, one of the things she's really, I'm still, I would say, a fairly, I come from the kind of more commercial, slightly analytical, kind of operational side of running the business. And Mickey's I think, brings a lot of focus on our brand and our sense of mission. She was someone who really pushed us to think hard, not just about it being self-evident that we were doing good as a company, but how we articulated that, how we kind of defined a mission in a way that we could explain clearly to users and that everyone from the company could get behind. And I think that's been a really powerful driver for the company, and I think it's something I've learned a lot from.
Fantastic. And talking about employee engagement, and that's obviously very important to all organisations. But what are you doing at Hopster from the top to keep your employees engaged?
I think one thing that's really important is transparency. It's a very one of the things that, particularly in a startup environment, you get is it's a roller coaster ride. There are assumptions you have at the start that change, and you regularly get new information coming in, and you do, as a result, you shift course. I mean, what you try and do is have kind of a North Star that keeps you heading in the overall right direction, but you launch products that don't quite work out, or you have to change things around, or you shift your business model or go-to-market approach. And it's very easy for that to get disorientating. It's very easy for people to lose track on what you're doing and why you're doing as a company and how their work fits into that. So one of the things we try and do at Hopster is just be really transparent about where we're up to as a company. So in our monthly meetings, we will look at the P&L from revenue down through cost. Everyone knows if they want to, like, how much money we made at EBITDA level the previous month. We'll go reasonably deep into our subscriber metrics. We'll talk about what deals worked and what didn't work and why. And I think that's really important that people kind of have that context because it then informs what they're doing and why we're doing it. And I think when we've got it wrong at Hopster, it's often been because we've not failed to do that, not often through any desire not to do it, but just because it's easy as the management team to just forget to do that, or have that kind of take second place in a fast-moving environment. And I think we found it's really important to spend time doing that and make sure that people understand what's going on and have that transparency.